I can show this. So he is a 50-year-old man who is having cough since few months. কাশিটা কতদিন? কাশি কবে থেকে? Since the last 1 month continuously. And আগে কতদিন ধরে ছিল? 4 to 5 years intermittent cough. And since 1 month he is having it, and অল্প জ্বর আছে কি? জ্বর আসছে না, এখন জ্বর আসে না। কবে থেকে জ্বর আসছে না? এখানে আসার পর জ্বর আসছে না। তার আগে জ্বর আসতো? তাই সন্ধ্যার সময় কেঁপে কেঁপে জ্বর। আচ্ছা, কবে থেকে? কতদিন? So I am putting my probe directly on the left kind of infrascapular area or mid infrascapular area, and what I am seeing is, what I have already seen on the CT is a consolidated area which I can see on the ultrasound, and there are some cavitations also there, some breakdown of the consolidated areas in the next space. So we were wondering whether to do a transthoracic needle aspiration of this, whether it will help. So I'll need some good microbiology and pathology help here, some support to actually even contemplate the procedure. So that is it, I think we wanted to show. This 50-year-old, he also had hypertension 2 years back, when first he was a lorry driver, and suddenly one day he was going from a place called Mathabhanga to Siliguri, and at 3 a.m. he had started from somewhere earlier than Mathabhanga, Goksadanga, and then when he reached Mathabhanga by 3 a.m. he felt giddy. So he stopped the truck and he went to the local hospital, and there he was told to have very high BP. After which they took him away, the lorry was given, and then for his high BP he took medicines. At that time he didn't know, but later on, 1 year later, this was 2 years back, 1 year back, he had a skin lesion in his right sided thigh. Maybe we can show the skin lesion here. Where is it? This one. So you can see the skin lesion here well, and of course he had another one is scrotum. Now let's go back to the heart. So what you can see here is that he's got left ventricular hypertrophy, and the aorta is a little bit dilated, and even the LA is kind of dilated. So I would put my money on HFpEF any day, which is of course a very evolving thing. So yeah, if he has heart failure, this is the earliest phase that he has, and LVH is quite prominent. And I think other than the lungs which we showed, which seems to be an infective lesion which has crept over. Okay, now I didn't say, 1 year back when he developed skin lesion, he was also found to have a high creatinine of around 4.6. That has currently become 5.4. So we are, a dialysis or transplant is imminent here, which transplant is probably something which he can't afford, but yes, dialysis nowadays, there are district hospitals which offer it. So probably that's where he's going to land up. And we do not know why he developed this hypertension, because of the renal disease that he had probably 2 years back, or even earlier, 3 years back, when he developed the first episode of hypertension, syncope, possibly a little bit of encephalopathy, altered sensorium at that time, 3 years back. And he also has this cough for a long time, and since 1 month he is noticing low-grade fever, and we have found a nice thick-walled cavity, which is not thick-walled cavity, I would say consolidation breakdown cavity. And in fact, pulmonologists are calling this as a pneumonia, but this is very atypical because it doesn't give any typical history of pneumonia. Very indolent. So tuberculosis is still very high on the cards for this man.